Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. I've been trying to figure out a decent light around here. Yeah, I'm gonna try this out. I wanted it where you can see my face, but I'm not being blinded because I find myself squinting and shit. This is a topic suggestion that I talked about, I'd referred to earlier, from a friend of mine named Sausuna. Sausuna. I'm always mispronouncing her name, so I'm sorry. I'm terrible with some things like that, and even after I've listened to it be pronounced on the computer 3 times, I'll still say it and fuck it up. So, topic suggestion is the fact that we're losing the right to defend ourselves day by day, but dogs are gaining more rights every single day. So I covered this briefly when I talked about the Dangerous Dog Act of 1991 and how they're trying to tear all that apart, and they're going to make it harder and harder to put these dogs down, regardless of them attacking children or what they have been charged with. And it's just getting harder and harder. It's so taboo to punish a dog for what it's done that, notice when we were talking about the Jaden, I believe it was Jaden Henderson case, and the fact that that family that owned the dogs that killed her and hurt her mother were trying to move to an adjacent county called Franklin County. And when I found out that Franklin County had realized what was going on and put their foot down and were like, no. And on top of that, we're going to change the laws, and we're at least saying, any dog that kills a child is not allowed to live in Franklin County. If it's killed a human, it's not allowed to be here. And so that was really exciting for me, for you guys. I've seen a couple other people mentioning it. So it's not just me. It's just shocking altogether when they actually put their foot down and protect us from these things. It went from it being completely casual and normal to kill a dog that was hurting someone or had hurt someone, to them being pushed around in strollers and treated like humans, like children. And so we were both kind of chit-chatting about this and going it's so bizarre that, every minute we're losing the right to defend ourselves. And lots of people can't have a gun, as I've mentioned before. This is based on the state and county that you live in. Some people have been diagnosed and labeled with a mental illness, and now they're not allowed to have a firearm. Some people are on probation or parole, can't even have a knife, can't have a taser. You can't even have a toy gun in your house that looks like a real gun. That's not allowed. No axes, no nothing, right? So, you're being, and I understand some people have committed violent crimes and this and that and all of that, but you're just repeatedly taking away people's rights to defend themselves. But then a dog that's committed a crime like killing a child is far more severe than what any person that would be on probation or parole, because obviously if they killed a child, they're not going to be on probation or parole, right? They're going to be in prison. But these people that have committed other crimes, some very simple, some a little bit more severe, are stripped of their right to defend themselves. Meanwhile, Fluffy can go kill children all over, and people have been using the tactic like that family did to just move to another county, buy a whole nother house. I mean, these people literally left the house that they owned and went and put down money on a whole other ass house so they can take their fluffies, their murdering fluffies, to another damn county where these things will be allowed to live. And if you have a mental illness, or you live in a state or county jurisdiction, or, parole, probation, or what have you, and you're not even allowed to have a weapon, but these fluffies, they are literally carrying around daggers in their mouths, attacking, maiming, killing people, and not just the elderly and children, but adults, especially when we're talking packs of dogs, right? Because they have that pack mentality and they come in and start thrashing and killing people. They're carrying around weapons in their mouths, and not only that, but the dog gets in trouble and hurts someone and goes back to the shelter, they ship it to another state and adopt it out again. Dog gets in trouble and the owners want them back. How many times have we seen the stories where these dogs hurt somebody, maim or kill someone, and the owners insist on having them back? I have even seen a few stories where the parents of the children themselves want the dogs back after they have been killed by their own fucking dogs. You're supposed to feel this drive to protect your children. I'm not trying to use myself as an example or a staple of such, but when I had found out that William was being bullied on and picked on at school, and because my son is kind of nonverbal, like he talks, but he doesn't, he picks and chooses. He's only 7, so things have gotten better, but when I found out that this was taking place, and I felt that ferocious mother bear feeling and realized that I can't protect him, I mean, I was like beside myself with rage. I went and ran around my house over and over again. I started doing exercises. I was chopping wood. I was growling like a ferocious animal. That is part of why I had that MS attack, was my stress level had gotten so high over protecting my child. Immediately I was telling friends of mine, including Cooking with Dog Meat and Sausuna, and different friends at Ban All Dogs, Brian. I mentioned this to a bunch of people. I was literally like breaking down, and we were all brainstorming on things I can do to protect my son, or what I would do about homeschooling. My friend Rachel had called me right away because I put out a message on Facebook like, I need a friend, someone please call me, and she was sending me links to different online schools. You know, we all got together to worry about the future of the children, and it's just, I can't wrap my head around the way these people talk about children and how fast they are to protect these fluffies while they're hurting people. And the stupid shit they say, like I discussed in the video earlier, answering dog lovers in the key of stupid. It's stupid, but as I said in the one comment, it's insulting to our entire species. And these people think that I'm sick, you know, because I don't like dogs. I think they're sick for the crazy wild shit they say. And down the line, some of these young individuals that are making these comments will end up having children. And maybe some of them, right? And I hope they look back at saying stuff like that to me. I hope, and not just me, you know, fuck me, right? Someone should. Come on, that was funny. But, you know, realize the error in their ways and the way they spoke. I can say, from being someone that's come from all different backgrounds and ways of being and upbringings and all this shit, that I have said and done some really dumb shit. When I look back on the memories in Facebook and stuff, today I had 3 memory posts about fucking dogs. Okay? Now, these days I delete them. I'm not trying to hide it. I'm obviously very open about it. I talk about it. But I just don't want that coming back up in my memories again. I'll leave like 1 or 2 here and there. Okay? Today, a memory pops up among those 3 that was of the dog that actually threw my dog hatred into complete overdrive. I had been working around this dog and had like caught him in a video and was talking about it, and I seen the video and I was just like, this motherfucker, like this. And in a weird way, I can thank him, because he woke me up. His ass woke me up. I'd been dealing with this for years. My dog hatred started years ago, but this one damn dog and all the damage he had caused and the things he had done to my ranch, to the horses, to my critters, that pushed me completely over the edge and made me who I am today. So, people, how'd I get to hate dogs so much? A dog helped me hate this much. All of the dogs I worked with. So, let's hop into a couple articles. I put a disclaimer in the descriptions because obviously I'm not a lawyer. I'm an Ashley, okay? So, disclaimer in the comments. I'm obviously not here to give out legal advice, but I can put up the links and read the legal advice to you, okay? And, you know, like I said, you have to get creative these days to protect yourself. You know, for people that are like jogging and stuff, not everybody wants to carry a gun on them. I mean, even if you're allowed to have them in your area, right? I live in a state where you're allowed to carry guns, and doesn't mean that people want to jog up and down the road with a damn 357 strapped to their side. You know what I'm saying? It's uncomfortable. So, oh, hush, computer. So, here we go. I just don't think there should be so many damn rules in defending yourself, but here we go. Alright? So let's go over here, and I will try to pull up the camera like I always do and make a big fool of myself because I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but here we go. Okay. Yeah, I did it already. So, this is from a group, let's see, where is it? The Legal Encyclopedia, okay? NOLO. When it's legal to kill a dog. There are legal justifications for killing someone else's dog in some situations, especially when it's necessary to protect people or property. Alright? Dogs, cats, and other animals are treated like property under the law. That usually means that people who kill someone else's dog may have to compensate the owner, just as if they destroyed another kind of property that wasn't theirs. Well, I don't see people's lawn chairs attacking me when I'm running down the street, but hey, that's just me. They could also face criminal charges, including animal cruelty or criminal property damage. There are exceptions, certain circumstances when people have the legal right to kill a dog. Some of these exceptions are written into state and local laws, while courts have recognized others, like killing dogs to protect people. Taj had asked me to cover defending a friend from a pit bull, so this can be your shout out as well, and this is actually right into what you'd asked me to do. Most animal cruelty laws make it a crime to kill or injure animals unnecessarily or without jurisdiction. The most obvious justification, without justification. The most obvious justification is self-defense or defending another person from harm. That doesn't necessarily mean, however, that you can just shoot a dog just because it's growling or barking at you, or that it has bitten in the past. Okay, so this is where we're losing the rights to defend ourselves. You know that this dog, like some of the dogs we've discussed in the past, obviously, have bitten several people, and it's growling at you and about to break through the fence. Okay, well, you have to be really careful about when you actually choose to use deadly force against this monster, or you can face legal ramifications because of it, okay? The general rule most courts follow: you must believe it's necessary to kill or injure the animal in order to prevent an immediate threat or serious injury, and that belief must be reasonable, okay? They put up an example for Grizzle versus State 707 P.2D 1210, okay? And they put it on a couple others, so I'll put this link in the comments. You guys check it out. Some states like Georgia have explicitly included this rule in their laws, okay? So, are you allowed to kill a dog if it's not in the midst of attacking a person? That depends on the circumstances as well as the language in any applicable state law. For example, a Pennsylvania statute says that it's legal to kill a dog seen in the act of chasing or attacking people or other domestic animals, including pets. It's not clear, however, how much time might elapse being seen to attack and killing the dog. So you see they leave a little loophole there, like, yeah, you can kill it, but And hey, I encourage everyone, get a lawyer. I'm not getting paid for any of the promotions I do, but I'm just going to tell you guys what I do. I use a group called Legal Shield, okay? It's only $25.99 a month, and you have lawyers at your beck and call 24/7. You can call them with any question, and they'll represent you in court, and the longer that you've been a member, the cheaper that it gets. So highly recommended, covers you nationwide, all right? And under any kind of stuff when it comes to family law, criminal defense, any of that kind of shit, it's the best group I've found, and I've used and called and talked to them for several different things. They're very helpful. Onward. A man was charged with animal cruelty after he shot and killed a large Labrador that ran onto his property and attacked his beagle, if you guys remember that story. There were several small children in the vicinity, and the lab had previously bitten the man's daughter. New York state law didn't give him the right to kill the dog just because it was trespassing. There's more on this, okay? Under the circumstances, however, the court found that he had acted reasonably to protect the children. So, that's good. A father was convicted of animal cruelty for killing his girlfriend's 8-pound dog after the animal bit their daughter, because he'd already gotten control over the dog before he killed it. The court found his actions weren't necessary to defend his daughter. So you have to be careful. We've discussed this before. If you've already got the dog under control, like say I run into a situation on the street and I'm defending, like I mentioned, there's a woman and her autistic son and her tiny little daughter that take walks up and down the street. I'm always watching them. I'm worried. And if I'm to jump in and a dog's attacking them, and I am able to full Nelson the dog, rear naked chokehold, whatever, and keep it on the ground, if I then pull out a knife and slit the dog's throat, that's a crime, okay? But if I come at the dog and just kill it without holding it, then you see what I'm saying? There's so many loopholes. So as I said, disclaimer, I'm not a lawyer, but look into this and feel free to contact someone or email, or they ask for chats all the time. And just on the 2 websites I'm on, there's been a thing, live chat, and they'll answer any of your kind of questions they want to help. So, you know, hey, find out. It's good to know ahead of time. Many states also have laws that make it legal for farmers or others to kill dogs that are chasing, harassing, injuring their livestock or domesticated animals, which may or may not include pets, okay? I know for a fact Texas is one of those places, because I've done it. I've killed at least a dozen dogs in Texas. It is completely legal to gun down a dog that's chasing cattle. In fact, it is just what you do. People do not question this kind of stuff. We used to, you know, we'll look through the scope and see the dog, and we'll call the neighbor that owns the dog, but they well know, very well know, that if they don't get out there quick, or the dog snaps at any cattle, it's getting shot. Like that. No questions asked. And they have no legal right to sue you. The dog was on your property, it's attacking your livestock. This comes down to money over and over again. I mean, we've all noticed that. Killing dogs based on past behavior. People generally aren't allowed to kill someone else's dog in relation for past attacks, unless there's an exception in the law. For instance, a California statute says that people have the right to kill any animals known as dangerous to life, limb, or property. It's a different story when it comes to the government authorities. Officials often have the right to kill dogs based on what they've done in the past, as long as they follow legal procedures, including giving the owners notice and the opportunity to challenge the government's proposed action. Local animal control officers usually have the authority to pick up, impound, and even destroy dogs that are a threat because of past behavior. And under the dangerous dogs laws in many states, authorities may, under certain circumstances, euthanize dogs that have been declared dangerous or vicious. I feel like that should just be an automatic thing, but so it's shooting or poisoning trespassing dogs. Courts have generally found that landowners don't have the right to kill dogs just because they're trespassing. Here again, there may be exceptions. I've actually spoke to the police about a dog that was trespassing on one of my ranches that I killed. One of them that I shot, one of them that I poisoned. And I always stress this, catch it on video if you can, I caught the dogs on video repeatedly trespassing, attacking chickens, and one that bumped into my son, digging through the trash and destroying the property. And I had 4 or 5 clips of these things entering the property after and I had the text message of warning the neighbor, so I didn't get in any trouble. Okay, but you have to be careful, all right? Here again, there may be exceptions. For example, an Ohio statute says that it's not illegal for landowners to kill or injure animals while trying to keep them from trespassing or while driving them away from the property. So, what? However, the landlords must pay compensation to the animal's owners minus the amount of any damage that the trespassing dogs caused. Okay? I know a little bit about this, and that's true. So, the dog, you know, you have to pay them for their property, like I said. So it's animal cruelty laws often specifically outlaw poisoning dogs on purpose, including putting out poisons where you know the dog's likely to get into. Most states don't make an exception for trespassing dogs, but many do exempt poisoning that's not malicious. Okay, so see, for example, New York has some laws on this. Okay, some states, such as California, specifically allow putting out poison on your own property to control predatory dogs or other animals, as long as you've placed conspicuous signs warning about the poison. That's another thing. If you have the signage and you say, you know, no dogs on property, trespassers can be poisoned, that kind of stuff, you've said it. You let them know. So if you've killed or injured someone's dog or another person has hurt your pet, you might want to consult with a lawyer, okay? An attorney that specializes in animal law or personal injury law should be able to explain how local and recent court decisions apply to your situation, as well as your legal options. If you're facing criminal charges for killing a dog, you'd be wise to contact a criminal defense attorney as soon as possible in order to protect your rights. So, go back to the camera real quick. So yeah, okay, a little bit of info on that. We're going to move into the next article. But As I said, disclaimer, I'm not a lawyer. I'm just reading you what lawyers have said about this, and the links will be in the description, okay? So, let's move on to this next one. This is by Dog Bite Law. I like these guys. They seem to have a lot of great information, and as I mentioned before, seems the only people other than us in this community and other wonderful communities around that know anything about this and understand the dangers of these dogs are emergency room workers and staff, lawyers, and homeowners insurance, okay? Self-defense when a dog attacks a person. There are news stories every week about someone killing a dog in self-defense. Ordinary, peaceful, unprepared individuals too often have to save themselves, a family member, or a stranger from a savage dog attack. See, like I said, these guys know what's up. They do it with guns and knives, but is it legal? Under what circumstances can you kill or wound a dog without going to jail or getting sued? General requirements of the self-defense doctrine. In general, a person can kill a dog without penalty if the dog is lethally attacking that person or another person, and there is no reasonable alternative to killing the dog. That's why they say, if you've already stopped the dog, like the gentleman with the 8-pound dog and his daughter, if you've already reprimanded and stopped the dog, and then you kill it, then they're like, well, no, you already, like, stopped the attack, the threat, and so now you're just being malicious. So, you know, it's good to read into the laws. The attack must be directed against a person and not an animal, with exceptions, okay? The attack must appear to be lethal, meaning capable of inflicting great bodily harm or death, and the threat must be immediate, as opposed to something that's happened in the past or may happen in the future. And there must be no reasonable alternative. Once again, they keep in that legal jargon, meaning that if you have reprimanded Fluffy and you can grab Fluffy and hold that bastard down and you've got it held down, if I then whip out a knife and stab Fluffy to death, that's me, you know, going outside of that law, right? But if, so, you know, interpretation. If these conditions exist, the killing of a dog probably would not violate any law unless the means of killing the dog were illegal, right? The person requirement does not usually apply when the attack is directed against farm animals. Once again, and it seems like, and I hate to say this, but it's true, it comes up over and over, these farm animals have more protection than my son. Like, in Texas, if I gun down a dog killing cattle, no question, nothing. But if I see someone attempting to hurt my child, a dog, then that's a big deal. But you're actually allowed to shoot humans in that state if you see them carjacking. I have a video about Texas. It's way down in the bottom of the videos because it's one of the first I made. Give it a watch. It's pretty low on watches anyways, and it's a good watch. I share a lot of my murdering stories from Texas about dogs. Okay? So. There it is. The owner of farm animals is entitled to protect them from dogs that have come onto the owner's property and are stalking or attacking the owner's farm animals. I've got lots of stories about this. The requirement of an immediate threat means it is not lawful to kill a dog because it did something in the past or might do something in the future. The law of self-defense permits aggression only for the purpose of meeting aggression. Okay, so it has to be taking place. It does not permit revenge killing. It is not the dog's predatory habits, nor his past transgressions, nor his reputation, however bad, but the doctrine of self-defense, whether of person or property, that gives the right to kill. Okay? So there's no legal justification that will protect a person for killing or injuring a dog that bit him or her at a prior time, if the dog presented no threat at the time of killing and injuring. This is part of the reason why one of those dogs that were on that ranch that fucked around with me is still alive. Because I wasn't there when it took place. So I can't legally go find this piece of shit and kill it. So it is alive to this day, although I killed the rest of the pack. Because I caught them all in the act. That's legal in that state. The method of killing the dog must be lawful. Even though a dog might be killed in self-defense, criminal charges might be brought because the method in which the dog was killed. There have been many cases in which a person shot a vicious dog in self-defense but was prosecuted criminally for animal cruelty, discharge of a firearm within city limits, possession of a concealed weapon, or possession of an illegal weapon. These defendants included a police officer who shot a dog that was killing his own dog on his driveway because he's in city limits. A wheelchair-bound veteran who shot the pit bull that had ripped the wheel off his wheelchair the day before and was lunging at him when he shot it, you see. A man who shot a dog that had bit his 3-year-old daughter's face a year before, and which, right before the shooting, had gotten into his backyard and chased the kids into the house. Until the dog laws are changed so that there is a presumption that one has acted in self-defense when killing a dog under these circumstances, killing a vicious dog must be regarded as a last-ditch life or death alternative. Engaging in self-defense can cause injuries. On June 1st, 2019, 33-year-old Robert Joseph Quick of Dallas City, Iowa, defended his 5-year-old daughter from a dog attack, and the dog killed him. There are other examples in prior years of people trying to defend others against a vicious dog and dying in the process. Combat brings the risk of death or serious injury, and when the fight is against a dog, an unnamed, untrained, and surprised individual has little going for him. I'll gladly die to defend my son. In rural areas and farms, a gun would probably be the best choice to kill a dog in self-defense or the defense of a farm animal. In other places, especially where possession of a concealed or unconcealed firearm or knife is prohibited or severely regulated, using a gun or knife might be impossible or at least unadvisable. Merritt Clifton has suggested that the safest and most legal weapon is a fire extinguisher. There's one we haven't talked about, but once again, some of us are trying to walk down the street with our kids or go jogging. How to carry around a fucking fire? How crazy do you look anyways? But, I don't know, might be fun to use a fire extinguisher on a dog. Okay, so they have a video here on Can You Kill a Dog? Okay, I'm gonna hit the thingy real quick. It's 3 minutes long.
One of the most troubling questions that I'm asked is whether or not you can kill a dog. There is one answer I can give that probably works everywhere throughout the United States, and that is that if the dog is trying to kill you or kill a person, and you have no other alternative, yes, you can kill the dog. That probably works in every state. The laws on self-defense are different from state to state. Generally, eastern states require that you take evasive measures when confronted with a deadly attack, whereas the western states permit you to respond with deadly force quicker than the law in the eastern states. But here's what the problem is. The first one is a problem of proof. How can you prove that the dog was engaging in
videos? And in fact, I got, one of the Bryans had told me, and I got this weird, bondage thing for my phone. It's not down here. But it, wraps around it, and you can wear it. And so you have a camera right on your chest. Okay? And so for most of us, it's real easy to get right there and hit the camera button and turn that bitch right on. So that helps.
Generally, eastern states require that you take evasive measures when confronted with a deadly attack, whereas the western states permit you to respond with deadly force quicker than the law in the eastern states. But here's what the problem is. The first one is a problem of proof. How can you prove that the dog was engaging in a deadly attack? How are we going to prove that? If there are witnesses, you can, but suppose it's only you and the dog. Here's the other problem. What is it that you're going to kill the dog with? See, if you kill the dog with your bare hands, or you pick up a stick, or you pick up something and you defend yourself that way, there's not going to be a problem. But suppose you're in a city that has a law against carrying a concealed weapon, and you don't have a license to do that. If you're carrying the weapon, they can accuse you, the prosecutor can accuse you of violating the law against carrying the weapon or possessing the weapon. In some cities, there are laws against having...
I've even seen someone where they said they had intent to kill the dog, that's why they had the weapon on them.
For example, semi-automatic pistols that carry more than 10 cartridges. So suppose you have a clip in there that has 17. You can be prosecuted for that. You can be prosecuted for discharging a weapon in a public place. You can also be prosecuted if that bullet or one of the bullets ricochets and hits somebody else, because they will say that you negligently killed somebody. So,
which is a huge concern when it comes to discharging a firearm. in, you know, suburban areas or within city limits. You know, there are ricochet, and I mean, even on, you know, the ranch, we're very careful about where we're shooting off to. I mean, you know, you can hit a neighbor's house or one of their livestock. And so, you know, we even had a hunter, because we rented hunting area to people that came out to the property, that accidentally shot a bull, and he was prosecuted. It's a big deal.
Oh, the problem is not really whether or not you can kill a dog. The problem is, are you killing the dog for the right reason? Namely, it was trying to kill you or another person, or incidentally, livestock on your property, farm animals on your property. The second issue being, what is it that you're killing the dog with? Is it legal for you to have that weapon, to be carrying it, and to be using it where the incident occurred? These are very troublesome questions, because the penalties can be huge and the consequences can be huge, because if you don't do it, you or another person might die. A very, very tough one. I suggest on something like this, you talk to a lawyer in your own jurisdiction who can tell you about the nuances in your own city or county.
And he's right, okay? Now, right here, before I go ahead and wrap this video up, okay? I'm gonna go through the same group's rights on defending your dog, okay? So here's the flip side of this, because that's the topic of the video. I discussed part of that in the beginning, and now we'll go into the legal end, because my opinions and experience, that's great. I've dealt with a lot of this, but here's what they say. It's for dog owners who are improperly accused of violating an animal control law, and you're trying to save your dog from serious penalties like confinement, destruction, okay? And they wrote a book about it, all right? Can anyone seriously say that every time a police officer writes a ticket or makes an arrest, he's always right? The answer is no. Can anyone seriously say that every person accused of a crime is always guilty? The answer is no. Okay, well, the same applies to animal control citations, humane officers, dog wardens, and police. Okay? So, it's a book called Defending Your Dog, okay? And they go through everything in here, and the list is extensive. It's wild, because there was nothing like that for the humans, okay? But one of the reasons I like this group is their video here is titled, How Do I Defend My Non-Vicious Dog in Court? They don't bring up vicious dogs. They repeatedly say that that's something that needs to be legally dealt with. Okay, so, bam. If you're being sued by the owner of an injured dog and you are not legally liable for what happened, you're going to have to defend yourself in civil court. Unless you have homeowners, renter's insurance that provides coverage. You can end up paying for something that wasn't your fault. So, I love the way that the flip side of it, right? But at the end of the day, you have to be able to defend yourself. So I highly suggest look into the laws of your area, okay? Don't just take my word for it. Don't listen to your neighbors. Go look into the laws in your area and become wise on this, because it's going to be too late after you've been attacked, okay? But you do it now and know how you are legally allowed to defend yourself and what you're allowed to do to defend yourself or someone around you. Serious stuff, people. At the end of the day, you know, you want to protect yourself and just deal with the legalities later. I hate to say it like that, but, you know, for example, like I said, if this is my son and something's happening to him, I'm going to defend him. If they want to take me to court and I have to deal with the repercussions of that, then so be it. Anyways, it's been good talking to you guys. Always looking for more topic suggestions. I've been breaking the list down, so I'm about ready for some new ones. I may have missed a couple or stopped or forgot to write them down. I've done like 2 emails, and I was forwarding my topic suggestions to another email, and the fucker wasn't working, so I just went and have to fix it, and nothing that I sent it came in. So there is a chance that your topic suggestion got lost in my technology stupidity. So please don't be afraid to, if you haven't heard your topic yet or you haven't heard me bring it up, please send it again, okay? And when you send your topic, it would help a whole lot if you tell me if you'd like to remain anonymous or not, because otherwise I'm going to say your handle or what have you. I'm not, I'm obviously not hiding. Hello. So, I need you guys to point that out, and I respect people's anonymity, okay? So, fuck Fluffy. Protect our children. Look into the laws of your state. Make sure that you are protecting yourself legally. We don't want you guys getting in trouble over stupid shit that your neighbors and their fluffies are doing, okay? We want everyone to be safe, and I want to continue to see you guys on the channel, and I want to watch our community grow, not people being jailed for defending themselves or their children or someone around them. Please do your research. From the bottom of my dog-hating heart, I appreciate every one of you. Get your steel-toe boots. A fire extinguisher, A mag light is another great one. I mean, that's something you can hold while you're jogging down the road. It's actually got a weight so you can switch from arm to arm and get a little bit more. But me, that's why I was doing the buff shit. That's why I work out and stay so in shape. That's why I'm such a hard ass. They're not going to reprimand me when I kill this thing with my bare fucking hands. And I will. Okay? Well, I will. Yeah. Look at this. So, work on that. Hey, guys. And I mentioned this, and someone said, like, mixed martial arts, not boxing. That's fine. Boxing has helped condition me, and, man, I'll box, all right? But anything you can do that's going to improve your physical form, and make you more grounded, any type of MMA, Taekwondo, Muay Thai, boxing, women's self-defense. God, I shouldn't say that. I'm going to get the fetish people again. But seriously, whatever it is you have to do, get out there and do it. Maybe we should start a class for dog self-defense. Maybe that's something I should do a playlist on. Let me know how you guys feel about that. So let's go ahead and wrap this up. From the bottom of my dog-hating, ass-kicking heart, I appreciate every single one of you. Welcome to all the new subscribers. Much love to all of you. I cannot express my gratitude enough. So until tomorrow, or if I get a bug up my ass, it's Friday, and decide to make another video later. I actually had a very exciting day. My life's generally pretty boring, but if I make another video, I'll talk about it then, because this video is pushing almost 40 minutes. I think this will be my longest video yet. So, thank you, everyone. Much love, and have a wonderful night, no matter what you're doing.